Things just got real for the Vancouver Canucks after NHL insider Elliotte Friedman spoke live on air about Quinn Hughes' future with the Vancouver Canucks, going as far as saying the New Jersey Devils and Vancouver Canucks have spoke about their franchise's players' future. We have so much to break down in this, including Quinn Hughes speaking to the media on the matter and an update on a player returning from injury. Now, before we get into this big update from Elliotte Friedman that he kind of shocked the world with last night, we're going to dive into what is happening around the Canucks heading into their next game. Now, today, Patrik Allvin did announce a player was reassigned or sent down to the Abbotsford Canucks, and that was Jonathan Lekkerimäki. Now, Jonathan Lekkerimäki not back many games after going down with an injury versus the Washington Capitals. There's a lot to like about this kid, but there's a lot of signs pointing to that was a move to get a player within the lineup. Now, looking at Jonathan Lekkerimäki, over the 3 games, he had a lot of minutes played in the first 2 games, 15 and a half minutes, almost 12 minutes, and then last night after being deemed to be scratched and Pettersson, of course, not going ahead and playing after dealing with an injury, which we'll do a full update on tomorrow as things come out. All signs were pointing towards Jonathan Lekkerimäki being the odd man out, and I hate seeing it as we know that Jonathan Lekkerimäki is a big part of this Canucks future, a player that's an elite goal scorer that we're going to see turn into hopefully a star someday, but I do think this was to push that they want to get a player that was out to start the season into the lineup, and Jonathan Lekkerimäki to go down and continue dominating in the AHL. Now, looking at the lineup, Pettersson may be out going into their next game after not being able to get through the entire warm-ups and deemed out for the game, which left the Canucks with Drew O'Connor playing at the center position. Ratu had an incredible game, but the big thing is this is pointing towards Nils Höglander returning to the Canucks. Now, with Nils Höglander, we know he went out with an injury to start the year. He had a surgery and was kind of pushed to the point that maybe he return around Christmas, but now with this, we've seen him return to practice, shed the non-contact jersey after the second practice, and was kind of pushed that maybe he would join the team versus Buffalo, but all signs, especially with this move with Jonathan Lekkerimäki, makes it seem that we will get him back into the lineup versus the Detroit Red Wings going into Monday's game. Now, with this, getting Nils Höglander in, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be interesting how they're going to get their former 20 goal scorer, still only 24 years old, needing a bounce back year into the lineup. Looking at the Canucks lineup, we know there's a lot of wingers on this team, not a lot of centers. So if PD is out, I think we're going to see once again Ratu, David Kemp, Max Saxon, and Drew O'Connor, and we're going to see Nils Höglander join the team. And I'm really hoping and kind of committed that he is going to have a huge bounce back season after a slow start to last year to end things off. Now, going farther into this and into the reports around the Canucks and Elliotte Friedman, we all seen live on air last night when watching the game that Elliotte Friedman spoke out. The Devils, working with the phones, have touched base with the Canucks on Quinn Hughes. Now, with Elliotte Friedman speaking on this sent a lot of people into the frenzy. If you see Quinn Hughes, the New Jersey Devils, working the phone, this is immediately something that's going to freak you out. But there's a lot to look, and at the finer line of things, things don't seem as bad as a lot of fans are looking at. Now, going into this, the biggest question around this Canucks team is, of course, Quinn Hughes' future with the team. Year 5 of 6, there's so many rumors. Detroit is apparently a team in on him. Now listen, all 31 teams should and would be in on a player like Quinn Hughes, but that doesn't mean the Canucks are going to move their franchise player anytime soon. Now listen, there's a lot of doubt, a lot of worry. We've seen Quinn Hughes speak to the media, and listen, I'm not going to sit here and say to you guys that I'm not worried, because of course I am. This is our player that we want to lock up long term. Now the Canucks have a lot of leverage. We know Quinn Hughes said he wants to be competitive. He wants to be on a competitive team. Of course, the narrative with his two brothers being in New Jersey, but overall, I would not worry about this too much. The Canucks have said themselves that Quinn is not going to want to push himself out. We know teams are going to continue calling. Yes, they would get a bigger haul during this trade deadline, but the Canucks do have leverage with this. With Quinn being on the final year of his contract, the new CBA kicking in next year, this gives the Canucks the only opportunity to sign him to an 8-year deal if they keep him. If he does hit free agency, the team can only sign him for 6, and after that, with the rights, you can only sign a player for 7. So the Canucks can give Quinn an 8-year extension. Any other team that wants to acquire him next year only get the option to give him a 7 once again for agency, a 6, but this let in to Elliotte Friedman on broadcast say at least one between the New Jersey Devils about Quinn Hughes, and I stress, I do not believe there's anything imminent. I don't know where that they are far along, but I do believe the conversation was had about where things stand and where things might go. Now with this, seeing the word that things are not imminent is awesome to see. We know the trade deadline is still a bit of time away, but teams are going to check in. And of course, the New Jersey Devils with 2 out of the 3 Hughes, not Quinns, is going to check in. But listen, we've seen the media ask Quinn after the game. Now listen, I'd probably wait a day to ask the player, especially after the performance we've seen, but he said it wasn't like if there was a call, me, Jim, and Fitzy hopped on the call, I wasn't a part of that, but obviously I'm aware that there could be some things for sure. Now, first off, I don't like him having a nickname for another general manager, but listen, he's going to be around his brothers all offseason. I'm sure they don't call him Fitzgerald. So looking at this, I understand that maybe this was just a spur of the moment, but listen, we know the rumors are going to continue circulating around this with his contract not signed. He can't sign the extension until July 1st of this year. But if Quinn Hughes wants out, if the Devils are calling and wanting to get this guy, it's going to continue getting interesting on how far this escalates, how far they can push things with Quinn Hughes. If this team continues to lose and Quinn Hughes doesn't see improvement in the next year and a half, then he could look at this Canucks management and say, hey, I would like to go somewhere else. I want to compete. This is not the direction we're going in, but we know the Canucks are really wishy-washy on what they're doing. We see them come out and say, hey, we want future pieces, we want picks, young players. Now we're getting to a point after a couple wins that management says, hey, we want young players, not picks. We want to compete. So it's weird on what they're pushing. Jim Rutherford reveals a lot in his interviews, so maybe he has one of these very soon. But things are getting interesting around the matter. And speaking of last night's game, I do want to give a huge shout out to Tom Villainer for his first goal. I mean, that was a beauty pick in the top left corner on that as well. Aturatu looked great as well. We've seen DPD score as well. The future of this Canucks team is continuously getting better. Tom Villainer already looks like a future top 4. He already looks like a top 4. And I mean, right now on pace for almost 40 points in his first season. I believe is the best 5-on-5 numbers for any rookie defenseman. Fans, what is your thoughts on this? What is your thoughts on Elliotte Friedman and other insiders just speaking so much on the trade front when it comes to Quinn Hughes and the New Jersey Devils? Do you think he is moved? Would you rather just sign him to an extension, wait till next year at deadline to figure things out? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments because things are getting hectic. But with that, let's go straight into comments today. Prospect reports seem appropriate. At the time, cheers. Caught Coots in Victoria. He scored 2 sick goals. Braden Coots is going to be a big name that everyone knows. But fans, who's your favorite prospect? Do you want me to cover some more prospects other than Braden Coots? I know we did a video yesterday on Wilson Bjork. Do you want to see Riley Patterson? Do you want to see anyone else? Let us know down in the comments. I love reading through them. And I love covering anything you guys want to see. So if it's more prospect videos, let me know down in the comments. But that will be it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it and made it this far, make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. We're continuously giving you guys daily content. So if you want to stay us in the algo, make sure to hit that and we'll continue doing videos for you guys. Sorry, I'm dealing with the flu, so I'm just going to end this. But take care, Canucks fans. Love you all and see you next time.